Do you want to know what freedom looks like? Just look at the special moment when these animals experience freedom for the first time. Watch them step out of their cages and into a new world full of freedom. This journey not only restores their natural lives, but also helps restore your faith in humanity once again. In this short video, produced by the International Fund for Animal Welfare, Dr. John Beecham talks about the process of reintroducing 4 grizzly bear cubs back into the wild. Although it still felt disoriented after waking up, it was certain that the natural environment would be good for a wild animal like itself. The female tiger has completed her rehabilitation process and is now a skilled and experienced hunter. It is now time for her to begin her new life in the wild. The rare Amur tiger was released back into the wild in eastern Russia, and it roared fiercely before diving into the dense forest, not looking back at all. After living in difficult conditions and becoming a threat to humans, it was rescued and rehabilitated. Now, it has a new opportunity in an area rich in food and safety. A successful operation saved this leopard's life, and now it's eager to seize this new chance. Coming back to my real home is always the happiest thing. This opossum thought it would be trapped behind the bars forever, so it couldn't believe its eyes when it saw it was back home.
Thank you.
The ocelot was injured and received treatment to restore its health. And now the moment has come for it to return to the wild, which it has always been eagerly awaiting. One of the cruelest things fate can do is to take away the ability to escape from the fastest animals in the world. Fortunately, there are wonderful people ready to ensure that doesn't happen unjustly. The seals named Drake and Remy were rescued and given the necessary care. When they were ready to be released back into the sea, Drake ran towards the ocean excitedly, but Remy did not follow. Instead, Remy began to turn back towards the enclosure, fearful of the vast sea. However, Drake stood waiting, as if trying to encourage Remy that he could do it. Suddenly, Remy began to muster up courage and plunged into the water, and then they both swam to the place where they belonged. This lonely hippo was rescued from poachers and brought to a wildlife sanctuary. It must have felt like it had stepped into hippo paradise upon realizing it was safe and the only male around. When freedom was in sight, the rhino couldn't hold back its emotions and just wanted to run as fast as possible back to its home. After a few weeks of good food and treatment, the heron's nictitating membrane was fully healed and he was ready to be released. A family of lions was rescued from a zoo in Romania and released into Lions Rock, an animal conservation center in Free State, South Africa. The charity Four Paws saved these lions from the Onesti Zoo, where they suffered from malnutrition and were forced to live together in a small cage with no grass and very little sunlight.
Ow! It's good. Ow! It's good.
This is exactly where they belong, their home with majestic nature. This lion has not fully recovered, but as soon as it realized the path to freedom was open. At first, the lion was quite fearful as it looked around at its surroundings, but its intense desire for freedom quickly urged it on. If you think releasing animals is cute and fun, how about when the animal is a bit less furry, more toothy, and 3 meters long? For this lion, the surroundings seemed too unfamiliar. It didn't even dare to step out of the enclosure, but I'm sure it will soon return to its wild instincts. After recovering, these orphaned hippos are finally healthy and ready to be released into a new family.
How they reacted when they saw that beautiful pond of water being opened. All 3 of them ran into the water straight away. They kind of gave each other a kiss to say hi.
Rescued fox cubs run in the grass for the first time. This moment is priceless. This is the UK's first polar bear cub in 25 years, taking its first steps outdoors under the watchful eye of its mother. This golden eagle was injured and fell onto a road in Arizona before being rescued and cared for at a wildlife rehabilitation center. After recovering, it was released back into the wild. It expressed its joy by majestically flapping its wings before disappearing into the stunning cliffs of Arizona. Because it was released so suddenly, the bear appeared extremely confused and anxious, not realizing that they had brought it back to its true home. The bobcat has experienced freedom and ran at an incredible speed to return to where it belongs.
Oh, whoa! He's in a hurry now.
The black-footed ferret was returned to the wild by this man after 2 months, and it took a long time for it to realize where it belonged. This poor condor was released after many years in captivity at the zoo. Unfortunately, it took him a while to remember how to fly. Pigs are intelligent and emotional animals. Just look at this mother pig and her piglets after being rescued from a slaughterhouse. They were freed and are now happily dancing around. After a year of solitude, this python thinks this bag is the coziest place ever, until it realizes it's about to taste freedom again, thanks to a volunteer. To protect these turtle hatchlings, a non-governmental organization in Himchari has teamed up with local people to patrol the beach at night to collect turtle eggs. The eggs are then buried in a secure area within the conservation center. Once the hatchlings are born, they will be released back into the ocean. Here, two chimps, Vanilla and Shake, were liberated for the first time in 28 years. You can see how everything felt so new to them. After a long period of rehabilitation following a serious accident, this Florida panther can't believe he's just one step away from his long-awaited freedom, which feels so daunting to take. I know that these wild horses are better suited to living in nature. These wild dogs are used to having an electric fence keeping them contained, and now they are free. All the people who cared for it at the rescue center gathered here to see the seal pup they had dedicated themselves to swim out to sea. The family of orangutans was injured due to poaching, but now they are healthy, and it's time for them to return to the wild. Wildlife and Parks game wardens released twin black bear cubs into south-central Montana earlier this week. They were separated from their mother in September and spent the winter at the Wildlife Center of Montana at Montana Wild in Helena. The seals injured by fishing nets have received thorough medical care, and now they have returned to their home. The bighorn sheep were released in the Santa Catalina Mountains. Initially, they were a bit hesitant and bewildered when the cage door opened, seeming to not believe their eyes that they were actually free.
Great.
Seeing them race back to their rightful place, I was overwhelmed with emotion. They're going to have an amazing life surrounded by nature. You are witnessing wild horses being released back into the wild. As soon as they were let out, they ran straight to their home without looking back. The little cub was in dire need when he was orphaned, so he was taken to the Bear Cub Rescue Center, where he spent 8 months preparing for this exact moment.
Now let's just look at it. Check it out. Look.
Look how quickly she climbs up right after the door opens and gives her freedom. When a massive humpback whale drifted onto a beach in Argentina, people came to the rescue. About 30 people worked for 28 hours to get the whale back to the sea, and they ultimately succeeded. The whale swam away, and those onshore prayed for its well-being. These wild coyotes were orphaned as pups and were cared for by local wildlife rescue teams until they grew up. Now, the time has come for them to return to the wild. In the end, they successfully and emotionally rescued the beluga whale and returned it to its natural home. The Texas Wildlife Conservation Society has returned the injured animals they have been caring for back to the wild. This moment is priceless. Get ready, as they will be releasing nearly 1 million pigeons all at once. The pigeons immediately take flight, filling the skies over Portugal.
Un quarà entonces.
Para la imagen também é uma contra o
Onde prática.
This elephant used to work in a circus in Thailand. Now that the elephant is old, it has been rescued and freed here by American animal conservationists. It is truly an incredibly emotional moment.
Free elephant!
For these horses, they truly belong in the wild where they can roam freely, rather than in small farms.
Yay, creep off, finally! It's okay, off you go. We love you, but go into the ocean.
The seal seemed to have trouble believing its eyes that it had been returned to the ocean. The first steps upon returning may be wobbly and challenging, but these giraffes know a beautiful life awaits them ahead. This guy decided to release his American kestrel back into the wild. Even though they were close friends, he still did it. What a man with a kind heart. The wolf knew the man wanted to help it, so it patiently lay, waiting to be rescued. This is the journey of orphaned possums raised under human care before returning to the wild. The grizzly bears, after undergoing treatment for their injuries, have been returned to their natural forest in Montana. Just look at how excited they are. This Amur tiger feels uneasy, as after a challenging recovery journey, it is uncertain about what comes next. Will it be able to enjoy a free and happy life? On this day, Grant County, Colorado, was forever changed because, for the first time in history, 3 male and 2 female wolves were released here to establish a new community in this pristine wilderness. These 2 cubs have been rescued and treated, and now they are fully grown and ready to return to the wild. The bears were very excited and could not contain their joy when they saw their home again. This little lynx seems unsure of what to do next because she can hardly believe that the cage has finally opened and she's being allowed to explore her new home.
I think I'm recording, yeah.
Oh, scary. Oh my God. What is it? Yeah, together.
Together.
When these orphaned children are ready, that's when they begin to live independently. This northern seabird was found entangled in seaweed and unable to move, but after being examined and confirmed healthy, it was returned to where it belongs. All the rescued monkeys were placed together in the same truck, and now it's time for their freedom. A polar bear required special methods to return to the wild. The pilots had to fly at a limited altitude and distance because the bear could wake up at any moment. Fortunately, the bear woke up just as it arrived home. And all these people gathered for one reason: to witness the rescued African penguins return to the wild. This is the first time in Guatemala that captive red-tailed macaws have been released into the wild. For the first time in the conservation history of Kaziranga National Park in India, 2 hand-reared orphaned rhinos have been released back into the wild. This is the effort to rescue stranded dolphins. Without these kind people, it's uncertain what would happen to the dolphin. This bear has waited a long time for the moment of freedom, and now that moment has become a reality. It's been 6 months since they were born, and it's their first attempt at nature's hunting grounds. These critically endangered Siberian tigers have been released back into the wild. We hope they will thrive in their natural habitat. This condor was found with a severe injury, but today it's spreading its wings and flying again. Just look at how happy it is. This bear was injured and had to be treated at a wildlife sanctuary for a year, but it never forgot its natural habitat. The moment it was released, it was incredibly happy.
Let's put him here, Cheryl. Yeah, I think this would be a good spot.
The baby kangaroos have been cared for at the sanctuary, and now they are ready to return to the wild. The longing for freedom is evident in this tiger's movements.
Yeah.
This injured lynx was nursed back to health by wildlife conservationists over 6 months, and upon release back into the wild, it couldn't contain its excitement.
Oh, yeah!
Witness the awe and wonder in the eyes of these chimpanzees as they experience grass for the first time. Having never seen grass, trees, or bushes, or even set foot on soil, their immediate thriving serves as a powerful reminder that animals should never be confined against their will. After being examined and deemed unsuitable for the enhancement program, these 2 adult male grizzly bears were released into the wild without any drugs or treatments. Upon release, the 2 bears exhibited different behaviors. This female Bengal tiger has been released back into the wild at Kaziranga National Park, India, marking a significant milestone in her life. This female Bengal tiger has been released back into the wild at Kaziranga National Park, India, marking a significant milestone in her life. The time has come for the 2-year-old bobcat to venture out on his own. This baby sea otter was rescued after becoming separated from its mother. Here, it received specialized care and was taught essential survival skills by a resident sea otter. After spending many months with its surrogate mother, the stranded sea otter is now ready to be released back into the wild. After 6 months of recovery, the tiger was released back into the wild and seemed very happy. This is the journey of 5 young sea lion pups released back into the ocean in Malibu. They happily ran towards the ocean, their natural habitat, showcasing their strong instincts. However, some showed fear and wanted to return to their enclosure, demonstrating that adapting to the wild is not always easy. He found a small anteater stuck on his house wall. He caught it and released it at a wildlife rescue center in the city.
Aí, ó, uma aparição rara aqui no lago aqui, ó. Um tamanduá. Ó, no muro de casa, na frente. Ó! Olha lá!
An African elephant family survived a poaching incident and, after a successful recovery, was relocated to a new home. These hippos, after spending a long time in captivity, now have the opportunity to return to their natural habitat. This female hyena was caught in an illegal wire snare on a farm near the Sundela Nature Reserve. Thanks to the efforts of the reserve's staff and an international film crew, she was rescued and brought to safety. A 22-year-old male grizzly bear was released in the Whitefish Range, northern Montana. As soon as it saw nature, it couldn't hesitate any longer.
Careful, guys. Oh, we need more people.
When rescuers first spotted this 300-pound loggerhead sea turtle, they thought it was a giant rock. After 8 months of rehabilitation and care, a dedicated team returned it to the beach where it was found so it could go home. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you for taking the time to watch this entire video. We hope you had relaxing and enjoyable moments. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe to our channel to receive notifications when we upload new videos. See you in the next video.